How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the Positive Mindset Podcast, where we work together to raise our vibration, lift our perspective, and build a positive mindset. My name is Henry, and in this episode, we're going to talk about how to stay positive during tough times. If you are struggling, if you are going through it, and you just can't seem to find anything to make you feel positive, then this is going to be the episode for you, because we're going to talk about how you can get into that mindset and then create more positive things for you in the future. But before we get started, we're going to take a few moments to slow down, zero in. We're going to take some deep, healing, meditative breaths to help us align on the frequency that we want in our lives. So you can pick a word. It can be love, joy, happiness, abundance, whatever frequency you want. And we're going to take a deep breath in. And as you're breathing in, you're going to say that word over and over and over again. Really charge yourself up with that energy. And then as you're holding your breath, visualize yourself doing something in that frequency. And then once you exhale, anything that no longer resonates with you will leave you and you'll be in a more positive state. So let's go ahead and take a deep breath in. And out. Well, we're going to do another deep breath. This one is about alignment, about getting ourselves in receiving mode so that we can receive the message that we need to hear to get us in that positive perspective. So just imagine that you are surrounded by the most healing, uplifting energy that's meant specifically for you. It could have a certain color, a certain taste, a certain smell, however you imagine it. And when you breathe it in, it's going to charge you up. It's going to break down the negativity, the blocks, the weight, everything that's just been holding you back. And then once you exhale, anything that no longer resonates with you will leave you and you'll be in a more positive state. So let's go ahead and take another deep breath in. And out. So how do we stay positive when things are difficult? When the going gets tough, keeping a positive mindset can be something that feels really difficult. So here's a perspective that I'm going to share, and this is something that I've adopted. And when you start looking at things through this lens, it really changes how you perceive the world. So most of us align the word positive with happy, and that is not something that I do anymore. Positive to me is the closeness to the highest frequency of love that you are operating at. So if you imagine a piece of paper, like just a simple notebook, and there's all those blue lines that go from the top to bottom that you normally would write within. Now just imagine the top of the paper is the highest frequency, and then each line is levels of frequency that are further away from love. When you are operating in a positive frequency, you are closer to that love, and your perspective is higher, and you're able to see down on the other frequencies. And when you're able to see down, you're able to understand. So if you start shifting to a positive mindset, what you're really shifting to is a high frequency way of thinking. You're not trying to be happy all the time. You're just observing from a place of love. So when things are difficult, the question isn't, how do I become happy? The question is, how do I perceive this? Do I want to perceive my current situation from a low frequency? Because if you perceive it from a low frequency, that's what you'll see. Remember, our frequency is what we frequently see. So if you're seeing the negative and you're seeing the low energy of things, you're operating at that low frequency. But if you close your eyes and take a moment to reflect and slowly start raising your perspective and start seeing things beyond how they just affect you, you start raising your energy. And on a large enough scale, you will be able to see something positive that's existing at the same time as your difficult situation is going on. Because it's not always about us. And I know when you're struggling, whether it's at home, at work, financially, with your health, with your spouse, with your friends, with your family members, it is so difficult because it's affecting you. You're feeling the pain, you're feeling the hurt, you're feeling the negativity, you're feeling the depression, You're feeling the anxiety and you just don't want to feel that anymore. But as we work on increasing our energy and seeing things from a higher perspective, we're able to separate ourselves from those things and just observe them. You see, if you can think about a tree, if you can close your eyes and imagine what a tree looks like in the yard, you are not that tree. You are the observer of that thought. So if you are able to observe a thought that you just created, then you can also observe any other thought that is going through your mind. So when something difficult is happening, when you're going through something painful and you're having those thoughts that are negative, even if it's rightfully so, maybe you lost somebody and you're just feeling that grief. Maybe your work is super toxic and you're feeling that pain, that anxiety from that. Maybe your spouse or your home situation is not good and you're feeling that tension, that hurt from it. You can still observe those things. And as you practice observing, you can scale back your view. So initially you see how things affect you, but then when you start zooming out, you can start seeing the entirety of the world. And so you're able to start seeing what can happen when you move past the difficult situation that you're in. The best thing that we can do, like the highest thing that we could ever do, is give what is most powerful to us. Healing yourself, going through something, growing is what's most powerful to us. So when you go through a difficult situation, whether it's just a tough day at work, a tough year at work, a tough 10 years of life, whatever that experience is, when you grow through that and you're able to have peace through it, and then you're able to give that to somebody else on the other end, that is the most powerful act of energy we can do. So sometimes that's the only piece of gratitude that you'll be able to find. If you're in a tough situation, that is a gift. Growth happens in time under tension. That is the number one way that growth happens. How is a diamond made? It's made under immense pressure. Why wouldn't we, as beings that want to grow, that want to be in the highest love frequency, that want to resonate with love, not go through tension to get there? Why wouldn't this experience be something that gives us that opportunity? I know it would be nice if you could just receive love and then become love, but we are creators. So if we just receive something and we're that because we're receiving it, then we're reflection, we're mirror, we're just being whatever is external. And if we can only be what is external, as soon as that energy becomes negative, then you will become negative as well. But your true power is that of creation. So when you can be in a situation where there's lack of an energy that you desire, if you're in a tough situation and there's anger, there's depression, there's anxiety, whatever energy that's within there, and then you're able to create the opposite, you're able to find that one glimmer of hope, even if it's something that's going to happen in 10 years because you've imagined this version of you that somehow heals, somehow gets past it, somehow grows, and then makes it through, even if that's the one positive thing you're pulling from it, you will start to create more of that positive energy the more you're able to focus on it. The more you're able to bring that within, when you can bring that positive energy, that love frequency, that healed energy within the place that you're at now that doesn't have it, and you slowly start creating more of it and more of it and more of it, the ability to create what you want is reaffirmed within you, and then you heal. You end up expanding past whatever it was that was holding you down. And then you create something, and when you create something, you truly understand it. Just to know something is one thing, but to be able to do it, to be able to be it, is true understanding. It's true connection with that energy. We know that the universe is expanding. The energy is expanding. So why wouldn't we be a part of that expansion looking for love? If everything is growing, that means there's endless ways to understand love. There's infinite situations where love needs to be created. And so the tough thing that you're going through, I know it's hard. I know that we wish it didn't happen. There's so many difficult things that I've gone through and probably will go through in the future where it's going to be difficult to be in a positive mindset because it's going to be hard. I'm going to suffer loss. I'm going to suffer hurt. So are you. You are going to go through some painful things. But as we continue to practice raising our frequency and we continue practice separating ourselves from the situation and just being the observer, even the difficult things that happen, even though they'll be hard when we go through them, we will still be thankful for them because we will realize we're not the situation that's happening. We're still the observer. We're able to learn. We're here to grow no matter what is happening. Everything is happening for you. It is a constant gift. It's not a gift of ease. It's not a gift of comfort. It's a gift of the opportunity to grow. That's what this life experience is. So the difficult thing that you're going through right now, no matter how bad it is, no matter how hard it is to accept it, is for you. And that doesn't mean it's fair. And that doesn't mean I wish you were going through it. I wish you weren't. I wish you were living in abundance of peace and happiness and joy. I just know, or at least I believe, that the way to get there is for us to go through these difficult things, heal, and then become the version of us we need to be. Just knowing something and then trying to tell somebody something does not truly spread that energy. It might start the spark, but what truly spreads the energy is when you become that powerful being. As you raise that frequency and then become that, that's how you can truly influence somebody. And hopefully it's the people we want to influence, but you will influence people. You're doing it now. The energy you're in right now is spreading. So the energy that you'll be in the future will continue to spread. So know that gratitude is the number one tool that you have to be in the energy that you desire. It will change because like attracts like. The law of attraction can work for you. If you're in a difficult time, you probably feel beat down. You might feel depressed, but you're not going to attract a positive, healing, fun, happy energy when none of that is within you. You can't because it won't be attracted to you. You won't even be able to see the opportunity. All you'll see is more of what you're currently in. But when you start practicing that gratitude, you start envisioning these positive things, whether it's something in the future, whether it's something that's happening to someone else in the world right now, like you're able to separate from the ego. The more you do it, the more it starts becoming within you. The more you start building that within you, because if you have inner peace, the external world cannot shake you. The external world can only affect you as much as you let it. And so once you have that inner peace, you're going to start attracting more inner peace, more peaceful energy. And as you start attracting that, and then you start raising your frequency and you start feeling the joy, you start feeling the love, guess what you'll start seeing in the world? Love and joy. And it won't matter how it affects you, you will just see it. And when you see it, you'll believe it. And when you see it and you believe it, you'll feel it. And you won't care, again, how things are happening to you because you'll be operating with inner peace. Nothing will be able to bring you down. That's the ultimate goal. So if you're going through a tough time, thank you for not giving up. Thank you for committing to raise your frequency. You are different than other people. So many people continue to struggle and never look to change. You probably know them. They might be angry, they might be depressed, they might be mad, they might be hateful, whatever energy they're in, and they have no intention of doing anything to change the way they are. But you're going through an energy that you don't want anymore. And then you're looking for options to change. That means you are starting the shift. You have already made one of the biggest steps, and that's being open to something different. So thank you for that. Let's continue to raise our frequencies so that we can be the rising tide that lifts all ships. Well, thank you so much for listening. I hope this episode was impactful and got you thinking about your current situation. Hopefully convinces you to try a different perspective to start changing the energy within you. And if you want to make sure you don't miss a single episode, make sure you subscribe to my email list. There's a link in the description. It will keep you up to date with every single episode. And if you want to follow me on social media, there's my Instagram and TikTok down below. I appreciate all the follows there. And of course, there's the Positive Mindset Facebook community. There's a link for that as well. A lot of the content that I've been putting out recently is coming from questions in that group. So if you have an idea or something you'd like me to try to talk about, go ahead and join the Positive Mindset Facebook group. I'm happy to do my best to provide a perspective for you. Well, thank you so much for listening. Have a great day, and I can't wait to talk to you next time.